When I first started learning about post-incarceration syndrome PICS, I didn't have the luxury of someone handing me the knowledge. I didn't have a guide. I didn't have a mentor or even a clear definition to start with. Learning about PICS cost me something, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I knocked on doors of mental health professionals. I stayed in their inboxes. I surrounded myself with the experts, those who have been incarcerated. I read books. I did thorough research on the psychological impact of incarceration. I spoke with family members of those who have returned. I began to uncover what was hidden. I cried out for answers because the reality was painful and it was inescapable. And that wasn't just a concept on paper. It was lived experience. It was real and it was raw. And it wasn't as simple as someone handing us, Kevin and I, the tools we needed. We had to dig out this information. And that's why I'm committed to sharing this information with anyone who will listen. Because let me tell you something. It's better to have the information and not need it than to need it and not have it. Far too long, we've ignored the unspoken realities of life after incarceration. People come home and everyone expects them to get back to normal. But no one defines what normal even means. The mental and the emotional toll of incarceration doesn't disappear just because someone walks out of a prison gate. PICS is real. It's a complex blend of PTSD, institutionalization, social deprivation, and often substance abuse. It doesn't care about your background, your good intentions, or your willpower. If you're not equipped to handle it, it will consume you. But here's the thing. Most people aren't equipped. Not because they're incapable, but because no one ever told them. No one broke it down for them or gave them the language to name what they were going through. And that's a tragedy in itself. Raising awareness isn't just about throwing out facts and figures. It's about giving people tools to recognize the symptoms, understand the triggers, and seek support. It's about shining a light on something most of society would rather keep in the dark. Kevin and I didn't have this. We didn't have the information at first. We had to search for it, piece it together, and make sense of it in real time. And let me tell you, that process is exhausting. It's lonely, it's frustrating, but it taught me something important. Awareness is power. And if you can help someone, and if I can help someone else avoid that same struggle, I will. And this is why I'll continue to speak out, to educate, and to tell anyone who will listen about PICS. I'll keep saying it. It's better to have the information and not need it than to need it and not have it. This isn't just some catchy phrase. It's a mindset. It's a commitment to prepare ourselves and our communities for the challenges we don't always see coming. Because let's be real, PICS doesn't just affect individuals. It impacts families, relationships, and entire communities. The ripple effects of untreated trauma and institutionalization, it spreads far and wide. And if we don't talk about it, we perpetuate the cycle. If we don't face it, we enable it. And to anyone watching this video and you feel like you're drowning in something you can't name, you're not alone. There are people out here fighting for you, fighting to make this information accessible to families and friends of those who are returning home. Educate yourself. Don't wait until it's too late. The truth is, we all have a role to play, whether you're directly impacted or not. Raising awareness about PICS isn't optional, it's necessary. Lives are at stake, and ignorance is the cost we can't afford to pay. So I'll keep speaking up. I'll keep crying out when I have to, digging when I must, and sharing every truth I uncover, because it's better to have the information and not need it than to need it and not have it. And I will be darned if I let someone else walk this path alone. Seek to understand, not deny. Prison has side effects.